roll call, please.
Board Member Alba? Here. Board Member Eastercon?
Here.
Board Member Malloy?
Here.
Board Member Storms? Here. Supervisor Stanley?
Here. Entertain a motion for approval of the last town board meeting minutes.
I'll make that motion.
Have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Supervisor Financial Report, June 2016. New York State for parcels, $500. Police fee, $15. Ambulance fees, $1,238.56. Ambulance donation, $100. Town clerk fees, $220.77. Cell tower, $345.29. Franchise payment, $15,980.41. Justice fees, $12,435. Building permits fees, $3,396. Dog licenses, $113. Fuel reimbursement, $8,303.64. Supervisor interest, $9,539.23. That is incorrectly marked. I don't know what account we're making interest with that. Shandaken Highway, I think these are probably reversed. Shandaken Highway, $1.62. Or I'm sorry, May interest, $1.62. NRCS reimbursement, Muller Road, $28,400.39. FEMA reimbursement, Miller Road, $19,005.83. Phoenicia water rents, $15,000. May interest, 26 cents, for a total of $114,595. Yeah, $9,000 in interest. Oh, give me that again. Communications. Month of July 2016, flood mitigation. Tonight we have a resolution to begin the process to investigate the feasibility of relocating 2 buildings on Main Street adjacent to the Stony Clove Creek. The owner, Alfred Peavy, has agreed to pursue this action, and we look forward to seeing the outcome. CWC has funding for this activity, which we hope will only take a few months to complete. Once completed, we will report the findings back to the town board, where we will further discuss how to proceed from that point. If all goes well, this will be the first step in moving forward, a larger plan for helping to mitigate flooding levels along Main Street and for a majority of Phoenicia. Additionally, the highway superintendent, myself, and a few others from the Safari Group met with the New York State DOT personnel concerning the Mount Shrimper Bridge. The state has recently added that bridge to a list for replacement. We wanted to enlighten them to some of the modeling we've already performed concerning flood elevations and mitigating options that were highlighted in the recent local flood analysis, which we have. The DOT representatives seemed very receptive to our input, and there may be further discussions with them concerning any modifications to the bridge to assist our community's efforts. Lastly, CWC is working towards securing language which would pay for anchoring of above-ground fuel storage tanks. This is something Safari has discussed in regard to our new flood ordinances, which we will be adopting sometime this fall. Anchoring of these fuel tanks would again help make our community more resilient to the threat of flooding. Securing fuel tanks will help our homes so they can run post-flood and protect your lawn, your neighborhood, and the streams from the threat of hazardous pollution. This finding will be available to anyone located within the floodplain. This funding will be available to anyone located within the floodplain within any town which has completed an accepted LFA, which we have. If you have any questions regarding this funding or activity, feel free to contact our Code Officer Warren Tutt at 845-688-5008 or via email at wptutt@shandaken.us. Medical Arts Building. Town has owned the 2 buildings opposite the post office in Phoenicia for a number of years now. It has previously housed Benedictine Medical Services, Maverick West Healthcare, and most recently the Phoenicia Library. We had a few inquiries into the use of the building, but none have come to fruition due to a multitude of reasons. We have had contact with another party concerning providing medical and mental health services, but these talks are in the extremely early stages. In the interim, the building itself has seen better days. We recently had a local contractor inspect both the main building and the smaller building, which currently houses our ambulance personnel. Following inspection, several deficiencies were noted. All the repairs necessary could cost over $60,000. Several projects were highlighted, including roofing, siding, basement entry, exterior and interior painting, along with some minor cosmetic work on the interior of both buildings. Recognizing the desire to rent this structure and the way things can deteriorate quickly within a structure, the town board is looking to go out for bids for the most pressing issues, those being the roof and basement entry for the main building. This work would help seal the building better from moisture and mold intrusion. We are looking for bids on each of these jobs independent of each other. That is not to say the same firm or contractor could be awarded both jobs. Town board will review these bids next month and decide how to proceed on this work and future work. Recreation. We have several annual resolutions concerning summer recreation. First is appointing our staff for the summer recreation program. Rayla and Manny feel confident in this year's group of young men and women and are looking forward to another enjoyable year with the kids. New this year, we will be offering to pay the junior counselors in the instances where a regular counselor is unavailable, out sick, or off for the day. This will give Rayla and Manny the opportunity to see how they handle the responsibility, will provide the junior counselor a bit more job experience and a little bit of compensation for their work. We are also awaiting the bid for transportation to and from our annual field trips. This year, we are looking forward to affording the kids a trip to the United Nations in New York City. We feel this will be a unique experience for the kids and many of the chaperones, as some have expressed that they themselves have never had the opportunity to visit this international destination. Of course, the trip these kids adore is the annual trip to Zoom Flume Water Park in Durham, New York, generally during the last week of camp. We wish the campers and the staff a warm and sunny summer. Miscellaneous. We have a few other issues on the agenda for tonight. Ulster County has informed us that they have $2,000 in forfeiture monies due to the town from work our police department assisted in with the Ulster Regional Gang Enforcement Task Force are urgent. These monies will be accepted and held in the forfeiture account to assist the police department in offsetting costs for future equipment or materials. At the same time, Ulster County has informed each of the towns that they are holding us all to a requirement whereby the town highway superintendent must submit a Form 284, outlining scheduled road and bridge repairs for each fiscal year. The town board must review and approve the Form 284, illustrating the cost of the repairs as outlined in the fiscal year budget. The town highway superintendent will have to perform this duty and submit annually to the town board from here on out. Resignations. We are sad to report that Fiona Tanzillo, who was elected as one of our 3 assessors during the most recent election, has rendered her resignation. Ms. Tanzillo has expressed her desire to continue on with her work as an assessor, but that recently her personal work has grown dramatically, and she does not feel that she can provide the kind of commitment that the assessor's job entails. She's willing to stay on until the end of this year, though. As a technicality, she has submitted her resignation to the elected position effective July 31st. This allows time for the Board of Elections to recognize the opening and for our local political parties to hold caucuses and nominating petitions in order to place names on the ballot for the election to be held this November. Ms. Tanzillo has agreed to stay on as the appointed interim assessor until December 31st, 2016, where on January 1, 2017, whomever is elected will take over these responsibilities and fill those duties for the remainder of Ms. Tanzillo's unexpired term, being December 31st, 2019. Lastly, but certainly not least, is the resignation of our ambulance chief, whose name no one on this board can properly pronounce. He will remain with us as a paramedic, but is resigning his duties as chief of the department effective July 15th. In his stead, he has suggested another paramedic with the service be appointed as chief. Brendan Whalen has been a paramedic and training officer for the town ambulance department for a number of years. The town board has a resolution to hire him as the interim chief of the department. We will continue to evaluate Mr. Whalen's effectiveness as he transitions into this new position and look forward to seeing him uphold the very high standards that have been set by previous administrators for this award-winning department. Upon his resignation, Chief Mullerlally, or Lala as some of us refer to him, leaves some very big shoes to fill. Of course, he will still be working with our department and is retaining some bawdy title with the county EMS. So if a problem arises, we will be sure to find a way to blame him. I say this jokingly, but at the same time, hope that some of you recognize the weight that the chief of any emergency response department carries at all times. This is not to take away the hard work and dedication of all our responders, but as chief, it is exceptional. They are never off duty as an emergency can arise at any time. They have to keep current with all the regulations, certifications, licenses, approvals, boards, and all the organizations that impact the operation of their department. Aside from the actual field work, they must perform as administrative coordinator, budget officer, field general, complaint department, moderator, psychologist, social worker, and if you're lucky enough, a friend. I have been a first-hand witness to the personal and professional growth of Chief Muller lately, especially during the maelstrom that we commonly refer to as Irene. The town cannot express its gratitude in your service to the town, and I cannot express the full satisfaction I have in finally being rid of you. In all honesty, you have done an exemplary job as chief and a pretty commendable job as my friend. The town and I wish you the very best in your coming endeavors, and will leave a key under the mat for you. Mr. Whalen, I have only one bit of advice for you in moving up to being chief. Do not, under any circumstance, click on the shaded areas in the payroll spreadsheets. No shaded areas. That's all I have. Our next regular meeting is scheduled for Monday, August 1st at 7 p.m. And I'd just like to say thanks, Rich. He's on vacation, so he couldn't be here tonight, but I'd like to say thank you to Rich for your service as chief. It's been commendable. He can YouTube it tomorrow. If anybody else has any other communications?
Okay, so town events for July, which is our busiest month of the year, and we have people clamoring to put things up on that billboard by the Eagle. It's been really hectic, I'll tell you. So Shandaken Theatrical Society will be performing the musical Oklahoma Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, which they already started this past weekend, right? Yeah, July 8th through July 23rd. Call 688-2279 to reserve tickets. Flying Cat Music Concert at the Empire Railway Museum will be Wednesday, July 13th, 7 p.m. Call 688-9453. There'll be a hearty lunch served free to just workers and regular people at the Shandaken Memorial Church on Friday, July 13th from 11 to 2, $7. Shandaken Art Studio Tour is July 15th through 17th. Visit their website for info at shandakenart.com. And the annual Chicken Barbecue at the American Legion, Post 950 Phoenicia, is Saturday, July 16th, 2 p.m. Thunder in the Valley Powwow is at the Big Indian Park, Saturday and Sunday, July 16th and 17th, from 10 a.m. to 6 and 10 to 5. And the annual Firehouse Barbecue at the M.F. Whitney Phoenicia Firehouse is Sunday, July 17th, from 1 to 6. And the annual Duck Race by the Phoenicia Rotary is their 27th year. It's Sunday, July 17th. This is a great fundraiser. They do a lot of programs to help kids and do a lot of great stuff in the town, as we know. Is in Phoenicia, starting at 1:30, July 17th. The annual Shandaken Animal Volunteer Effort Tax Sale is Saturday, July 23rd at Migliorelli's Farm in Mount Tremper from 10 to 4. To donate items, call Nancy Hudler at 663-3047. I'm almost done. The Library Street Fair by Morton Memorial Library in Pine Hill is Saturday, July 23rd, 10 to 4 in Pine Hill. And Bel Air's Mud Run is Saturday, July 30th. You can sign up online at yourfirstmudrun.com. And lastly, this is the third annual Catskill Mountain Coin Shoot and Relic Hunt. And this is for people that do metal detecting. And this is going to be up in coordination with the Shandaken Museum. It's their third annual. It'll take place around Shandaken on July 29th, 30th, and 31st. And with metal detectors and spades, treasure hunters will be searching for historical relics and other long-lost items on several private properties in and around the area. Upwards of 35 history buffs usually join this endeavor. And there is an entrance fee of $75, and this is used to benefit the Shandaken Museum. The event is open to all metal detectorists. That is not a word, but that's what it wrote. An event barbecue hosted by the Fleischman's Pine Hill Rotary will take place at Big Indian Park on Saturday, July 30th at 6 p.m. For information, call John Michelotti at 254-4020. And that's it.
That's all?
That's it.
That's it. Boy, July's going to be over. Poof.
That sounds like a busy month.
So the police report, Officer Tui asked somebody to please read it. She had to go out on a call.
Sure, I'll read it.
There you
Okay. There's no other communications. We'll move on to committee reports. Mr. Whalen.
Good evening, Supervisor Stanley, Town Board. As Rob addressed, I do have some pretty big shoes to fill. And unfortunately, Rich is on vacation with his family well over there. Ambulance report for June 2016. Total calls was 23. And this is a nice report from Rich. So as I said, thinking how I would sum up over 7 years of safety tips from town board meetings, I couldn't help but wonder how I'm going to do this. I mean, after all, it's been that long that I've been dressing up in my penguin suit and walking up to the microphone as Rob Stanley Sr. and Mr. Riccadella poke fun at me from behind, addressing the board as how many calls we have responded to and how many miles we have spent aggravating Vinnie Bernstein and Randy Ostrander in their vehicles that are lit up like Battlestar Galactica, and providing a safety message that will undoubtedly be scrutinized by the town supervisors. Apparently, I mumble too much. It is very tough to sum it all up. We have all been through a heck of a lot together. If the natural disasters, daily medical perils, wrecks on 28, and the kamikaze skiers weren't enough, it is background staff that this job that taxes you mentally. Ensuring that the payroll is completed and accurate, and make sure I don't click on those shaded areas. The report is completed for the meeting. That morale and standards are high, and that the secretaries of the town hall aren't putting contracts out on you. By the way, Administrative Personnel Week is the last week of April. Are all parts of this added stress. Now that the staff stuff is some other leaders' responsibility, and my involvement will shift in the town of Shandaken to what I enjoy most, being out there with my boots on the ground, working as a part-time paramedic. So I guess in short, I have nothing, I can't think of another safety tip to throw out there, and I believe we've covered most. Again, I would like to thank the town board, past and present, for their support, the citizens of the town, and last but not least, the professionals that I have had the luxury of working alongside of. You are the best. And again, I will do my best to fulfill those big shoes that I have to fill.
Thank you, Mr.
Sure.
Police.
Police. Summonses issued, 35. Arrests, 10. Total miles, 12,673 for June.
Keisha Water. No report. Alfred's on vacation, and it's Rick's birthday, so he's having some cake. I will tell you that we did have a meeting this morning concerning the CDBG grant, and it looks like that the first job out of the box, if you will, that we're probably going to tackle is the third finishing pump, as well as the ventilation system for chemical storage, because those seem to be stuff we can probably do in dry ground and during the fall where we don't have to get stream permits. Next up would probably be the High Street Loop, and then that will be followed by creation of a new infiltration gallery, reclamation of the old infiltration gallery, and then a full TV inspection of the system. So probably within the next month or two, expect to start seeing bid documents come out for these jobs. Pine Hill Water, no report. Museum, I got a couple phone calls from Rich today. I'm assuming that something came up and he wasn't available to meet with us, but John, did you want to say anything about the metal detection? Or do you want
I
to
think
further?
we've got about 30 signed up out of 50 slots. We're pretty pleased with the way it's going. Got some great places to metal detect this year.
Good. Good. I hope you find some good stuff for us.
Me too.
Is there gonna be any video on it or anything?
Are you volunteering?
No.
Just a video camera.
Here, my camera.
Magnets and cameras. Recreation, Marty.
First of all, on behalf of our whole board, we really want to thank you, Rob, for taking the initiative and going after a grant that will largely benefit the parks. Smart Growth Grant came in. It's fantastic. We are so excited. $28,000. I would be sure to mention. I know all of that is not in parks, but a good chunk of it is. So we are busily collecting estimates so that we can go out and buy the stuff we need. And our next meeting is on Thursday, July 21, 4 o'clock, Town Hall.
And Marty, my pleasure. The smart growth came up. Again, we were awarded a $28,500 grant through smart growth from the DEC. This will go towards the creation of a disc golf course in Big Indian Park. Several pieces of playground equipment, spring jumpers and such to be placed in different parks. Picnic benches and a park bench for Glenbrook Park. And signage, yeah. So signage at all the parks, and basically the signage would create maps. One showing the entire township where the other parks are located. It would show an overview of the park that you're in, showing the amenities that are available, along with the list of the other parks showing the amenities available at other parks. So if somebody's at some park and they decide that they want to go play disc golf in Big Indian, they can just hop in their car or on the bike and go up to Big Indian, maybe keep them around town a little bit longer. But, yeah, we're looking forward to getting that moving.
Rob,
Yes, sir.
I just have a correction to the resolution, the spelling of my first name.
Yeah, I fixed it on Faye's copy because she's
Okay.
gonna be reading it. I haven't fixed it in the minutes, don't worry.
Okay.
I don't want to waste
Misspelled.
paper and print more, you know.
Misspells my name all the time.
Faye's gonna be reading that, it's Brendan.
You're up there with Rich.
So with that, we will
This is
move
like
on.
the third plaque.
Me?
Yeah, Shandaken Day, I don't have,
You don't have what?
I didn't have Shandaken Day on the agenda, but you want to update everybody on?
Shandaken Day is moving along. Anyone who would like to be a vendor, the vendor sheet is on the website. Yes, Joyce?
Yes, ma'am.
We have new this year, Human Foosball. And that's our new project, so we'll see how that goes.
It's under Parks and Recreation, Shandaken Day.
Shandaken Day, August 27th, all day, Big Indian Park.
Yeah, so the human foosball, we're asking for teams of 6. We're looking at 8 teams of 6 that we need. And real simply, we're waiting to hear word from sponsorship to see how much we're going to give as awards. But for the team of 6, we'd ask that you represent a local not-for-profit organization. You don't have to be a member of that not-for-profit organization, so if you got 6 people together and they want to represent the Shandaken Hose Company, so be it. The Shandaken Hose Company will be the recipient of the award if you are the champions of the tournament. So it's a way to get everybody involved, maybe with an organization that you haven't signed up for, maybe help the fire departments because their membership is quite low, honestly. So even better way would be to join a fire department locally. Other than that, there are several other not-for-profits, museums, libraries, theater groups, and so on that could use some help, and look forward to getting some teams going out there for a full-day tournament. Have some fun. With that, we'll move on to public comments and resolutions.
Oh, the t-shirts are for sale in our office.
Shandaken Day t-shirts are for sale.
Yeah, they're awesome. They're red, stand out. Red.
Cardinal red.
Yep, and we have kid sizes too.
Public comments and resolutions.
Rick's not here, so we're good.
We told me that today, so it's gonna be 10 minutes shorter. I do have a motion, something came up today, Warren came down to my office, we need to set up, I'd like to make a motion for a public hearing. We have somebody who's applying for a logging permit in excess of 100,000 bird feet. Still a lovely amount. 100,000 board feet. This is, all I have is Crookshank property, Big Indian, New York. So we will have more details, I'm sure, as the application proceeds. But we wanted to set up a public hearing for 6:30 prior to our August 1st, 2016 meeting. So anyone interested in discussing it? 6:30.
That's what
Please come.
6:45.
Again, this application came in last week, and Warren came to me
You
today.
don't want to do 6:45, we did the last one, we put it at 6:45.
We could do 6:45.
Yeah,
6:45 works for me.
6:45.
There you go, that's how it works.
Perfect.
Negotiate.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? There you go. Thank you. On to resolutions.
Resolution 11116. Whereas the Department of Audit and Control require town boards to sign and inspect all vouchers coming into town for payment to number and total amounts from each fund. Therefore, be it resolved that the town board authorize the following vouchers paid. General $78,569.52. Highway, $80,627.40. Phoenicia Water, $3,038.41. Pine Hill Water, $1,628.21. Phoenicia Lights, $898.01. Chichester Lights, $133.06. Pine Hill Lights, $471.63, for a grand total of $165,366.24, and I move its adoption.
I'll second it.
Board Member Alba?
Yes.
Board Member DeScalani?
Yes.
Board Member Malloy?
Yes.
Board Member Storms?
Yes.
Supervisor Nana?
Yes.
Resolution 11216, authorized application for Phoenicia Phase 1 feasibility study. Whereas the town of Shandaken accepted a local flood analysis, LFA, for the hamlets of Phoenicia and Mount Tremper. And whereas the LFA highlighted certain activities to mitigate flood elevations within the hamlet of Phoenicia. And whereas one of the projects is location of two mixed-use buildings located adjacent to the Stony Clove Creek along Main Street in Phoenicia, SBL number 1413-3-1. And whereas the town wishes, with the property owner's consent, to conduct a feasibility study to investigate options to meet the goals outlined in the LFA. And whereas the Catskill Watershed Corporation, CWC, has funding available to communities that have accepted an LFA. Therefore, be resolved that the Town of Shandaken Town Board hereby authorizes Town Supervisor to file an application to the CWC for funding of said feasibility study for this activity. I move its adoption.
I'll second.
Board Member Alba?
Yes.
Board Member DeScalani?
Yes.
Board Member Malloy?
Yes.
Board Member Storms?
Yes.